It's A.I.4. I think I've started to do like that before. Anyway, more AI responses. Halfway through the script for AI, because it was way too long. But first, I was watching Tenzu Sentai Go Seija earlier, and I'm coming on episode 48. In case you're wondering, 48. Yes, they make that many. And also today is supposed to be the day that the English version of the final Dawn Brothers comes out, but it's not on Tokyo yet, so it should be later. Anyway, so I was watching Go Stage and comparing it to Power Rangers Megaforce, and I made a couple of I'm like not discoveries, but I kind of I realised that maybe because Go Stage, the reason that Go Stage is disliked, I think, because of the amount of because there's 3 villain groups and there should be like 1 or 2. There's 3, so it felt a bit overwhelming. And also, I decided to comment on how the Megaforce toy line was a lot better than the TV show, since it didn't run away from the quality, because for a start they didn't get rid of the header gimmick, so that's a start. Although the TV show made a lot of things confusing, like they called the headers Zords and they called the Zords Mechazords. You're not meant to do that, until I realised that because this isn't in the show for Megaforce and they have to use all those weird Zord vehicles, I just realised what if they could just get the Mega Blaster like this one I've got here and just use the head like this and shoot. Why didn't they do that? That's a serious question. Why couldn't they just attach it onto here and then shoot it into the air and then do the Megazord transmission like that? Also, I decided to try and do some Zord Builder combination. Well, I did one Zord Builder combination, but I might do more. Look! I don't know why I did do this earlier, but hey, that's the first Zord Builder combination I made. It's pretty weird. It's got the 2 out of the 3 Zord vehicles, you know, the bikes for arms. It's got the shark and the phoenix up here. We've got the heads, obviously, and then the heads are attached onto here. And then the heads for the Zord vehicles are just on his legs. So yeah, I might do more of these combinations. I hope I do. I realised a few more things, actually. For start, yes, you can use Robo Knight on the gun, like you can in Go Seija. And I also realised another thing: you can actually remove the head here and use the hyper change header. And this is basically just Datus' head, you know, and without that, you know, just because it doesn't fold open. This is basically all Datus does. He just sticks this head on top of the socket. But there's another thing I realised, believe it or not, and that is you can use this head for the Megazord on the gun if you want. Yeah, you can do this if you want. Alternatively, you can stick it on any of the Zord ports like this, which means you can have like a really cursed looking Megazord. Look, he's looking down at his yeah, let's not go there. And, oh, of course you can do this if you want. So that's weird. And another thing about the toy line, about this Megazord in particular, is that you can actually remove these wings. I don't know if I've told you about this before, but you can remove these wings, and they look a bit weird, actually, to be frank. I think they can be connected using this socket, but they cannot be connected using any other socket because it's like inside of there. Unless you can, and I haven't checked yet. Let's try it now with a Zord vehicle. Oh no, you can. You can. Ooh, okay. looks like you can connect it to other ports. I don't have another Megazord handy, so I can't really try all that. But of course you can connect it with the peg side. So if you really wanted to, you could do something like this. You could make a cursed combination such as this if you really wanted to. If you have these handy, then try this, but don't really, because it's weird. Although that said, I'm gonna probably regret doing this. It's probably gonna create cursed mass. But you see this peg here? Oh, you can do it! Oh my goodness gracious me! You can connect that mass to a Megazord. I don't know what they were thinking when they came out with this, but I should technically be able to do it with the other side as well. Let's try that now. Good grief! What the hell were they thinking when they made this a thing? Eh? What were they thinking? Right, so that side up there. The Phoenix. Put her wings down first, and then we should be able to connect these two. You obviously can't connect anything to these, but if I quickly get another, let's just grab Legendary Megazord quickly, because I know it's in here. It's missing the jet, but I don't think that's a problem. So here it is. I was trying a thing where you could connect the, because I remembered they did like a combination called Gosei Samurai, which combined the Gosei Great Megazord and the Samurai Megazord. Until I thought, hello, what be a good idea to do a Megaforce, Super Megaforce, like combining the you know, you get the idea. So if we remove Racer, and then if we, how do we do this? Close this up here, and oh hey, it works. Right, so fold that down there. Spin this round here. Sharp. Connect that to there. Move this back, and then see, it works. That's a mass. I don't think you can combine the dragon with anything, because I think the pegs are too small, but we can try. Yeah, it won't work. So that means the only thing that this can connect to is this, because I think, if I'm mistaken of course, and it does. Oh no, it does! Hang on, I think the hole's a tad too... The hole should be a tad too big if this can connect. Oh god. Okay, now we're going there. You can connect the racer to this, move the wheels around here, and then there's a peg here that comes up, and that doesn't connect to that. So what you can do if you really wanted to is you can route the Phoenix off of this and then connect it to the top of here with the wings up, of course. And then you have this monstrosity, which is basically what Power Rangers Dino Fury does. Look at it. It's like a totem pole. It's like a Wiimote gone wrong. It's not a Wiimote. It's a thing. Let's try it. But of course, if you really wanted to, you could do something like this. We think. No, you can't. Maybe it's good that I stop. Basically, you can do all kinds of weird stuff with it, and well, they didn't really know if they thought that was through or not. I mean, come on. I mean, just look at this. Even you can remove these legs here, and then if you wanted to do like a Gal Ranger of it, you could attach the racers, the legs here, and then have him, and then. Ugh. This is like what you can do with those Astro switches from Forza. If you wanted to, you can just. Oh, this is a chaotic. I actually have the Samurai Megazord. If I can, I'll keep the Gosei Great out on the desk. If I can find Samurai Megazord, like, if I can find Samurai Megazord, I'll do the combination shown on the on that Facebook post, as in Gosei Samurai, because I mean, for God's sake, you know what? I told you I'd try the Mega Force, Super Mega Force combination. So let's just reassemble Gosei Great and then try that out. Whoa! Oh, okay, that's not good. And yeah, I think you can do this kind of thing with just one series in Japan. Like you can combine all the you can combine the weird stuff together. Right, so let's just reassemble this here and then just test the waters out here. I don't have the dragon header handy, so you just have to believe me on that one. Right, so what we do know is that there's pegs up here, and then they can combine to. You know what, I think I'll just save this for a separate video, and then I'll probably do the old combination of. I think I'll do a jump cut and then return, because for God's sake, this video is already 11 minutes, and I haven't even gotten into. And this was the combination I came up with. Look at it. It's the size of a giant sock. Dude. Zord Builder was a mistake. See this? Well, I figured out that the front bit here could be connected to any port. Oh my god, Greg. Oh, it stands on its own! It stands on its own! Oh my god. This is a physical nightmare. I'm going to call it Giant Money Spending Robot. I think I'll work on instructions to combine all the Zords later, because it's one of those things where I do not want to forget how to put it together, since it's a chaotic mess of a plastic. Anyway, back to the AI responses. Next up is Go Onja. It says Go Onja easily wins. First of all, they have the power of literal trains. Just by driving into an enemy, they can crush and kill the entire team. Not only that, but they can create giant robot train monsters. This is not even a debate. Go Onja is one of the most powerful Super Sentai teams. Right, so the edit note here basically just sums up my entire thoughts on this response. It says Go Onja trains? I mean, if there were trains, a Tokuja adaptation would happen, which hasn't. Basically, this is mistaken Go Onja for having trains in. Unless you count the 3 train dinosaur things at the end of Go Onja, or midway through Go Onja, I don't think it really counts. And also the giant robot train monsters bit, I think it's getting confused with the Kurinas, also from Tokuja. And next up is Shinkenger. It says, I'm going to give this one to Shinkenger. They have the power of samurai masters. So it's not just normal people fighting them, it's some of the most skilled warriors in all of Japan. Not only that, but their suits allow great mobility and can heal them. They have the power of the sun. And they can control a giant robot, so the giant robot bit is back anyway. Moving on is Goseija. Well, Goseija would win here. Their team literally has the power of God on their side. not only that, but they are immortal. I think they would always come back for more, no matter how many times they are defeated. I think that would make them quite difficult to battle. So, Angels, God, that's alright. Alright. Then Gokaija. I'm going to give this one to the Kaizoku Sentai Gokaijas, plural. They literally have the power of all the other Super Sentais inside of them. They literally have the ability to use any ability or power of another Super Sentai. How could they possibly lose? That's actually true. No minus points there. And then Go Busters. I'm going to give this one to Tokume Sentai Go Busters for their specialized equipment. Not only will the Go Busters have the traditional power and abilities of Super Sentai, but they also have incredible technology to assist them. I think this would make it very difficult for their opponents to beat them, especially since the Go Busters are very capable of adapting their equipment to any opponent. That's true. They have special equipment, the Go Busters. You know, the good old binoculars, sword, and the DSLR bazooka. And then we have Kyoryuger. Zyuden Sentai Kyoryuger wins this one. They are literally dinosaurs. A huge, powerful T-Rex alone would destroy most of even the top Super Sentais. Not only that, but they have more than just the T-Rex. They can summon other dinosaurs to assist them in battle, giving them an incredibly diverse range of power. I think it's confusing the Kyoryugers with actual dinosaurs. Isn't there a bit in Power Rangers Dino Charge that I think is directly adapted from Kyoryuger, where the red bloke just turns into a dinosaur when trying to handle the Kyoryuger Carnival gun? I think that's how it goes, at least. And then we have Tokyuger. Again, I'm going to go with the Resha Sentai Tokyugers. Not only do they have the power of trains to crush their opponents with, they can also turn into a giant railgun. Okay, what are you going to do when you are just the size of a normal human, and I have a railgun the size of a train being trained on you? Okay, this English is weird. Okay. You can't even hide from it. I think this is an incredibly powerful weapon. Edit note being, is railgun the idea of a pun? I mean, if it is, then I say, well done, chaps. Yeah. Railgun. That sounds like a trick they'd pull for Power Rangers. And then we have Ninja. Easy win for the Ninjas. No one is going to win in a fight against natural Super Ninja. The Ninjas are some real masters of ninja arts. They can use special weapons and ninja magic to completely destroy their opponents. I'm actually going to give this one no complaints, because, well, the ninja bit's on point, plus some unintentional points given for the fact it says ninja magic. Isn't that what our ninja has? So extra unintentional bonus points given to that one then. And then we have Zyuohger. Once more, I'm going to go with Dorbit Sentai Zyuohger. I mean, who is going to win in a battle against a group of animals the size of humans? They can use literally the power of nature to destroy their opponents. They have an incredible power of nature and animals at their disposal. And I must have been thinking the same thing as the AI, because the note says, even AI knows what furries are. See? Which basically just means... I mean, come on. A good amount, like 4 out of the 6 Zyuohgers are furries. Actually, is that true? I think I think Tusk is a scaly. I think he considers scaly, yeah. And then we have Kyuranger. Again, Dorbit Sentai Kyuranger. Dorbit Sentai Kyuranger. Okay, fine. Are going to win this one incredibly easily. Not only do they quite literally have the power of the entire universe at their disposal, but they can also control the stars themselves. This is an ability no other Super Sentai can even compete against. This is probably the most powerful Super Sentai team in all of Japan. You don't say. Right, so the only thing I can say about this one is Dorbit Sentai Kyuranger, Animal Squadron 9 Ranger. No, sorry, that can't let that slide, sorry. Then we have Lupat. And another interesting battle. I'm going to have to go with Lupin Rangers. Not only are they more clever and stealthy compared to the more direct Pattern Rangers, but they can hide and go unseen. Even if the Power Rangers knew where the Lupin Rangers were, they would be unable to do anything about it, because the Lupin Rangers could disappear before they could even fight back. Now that sounds like a magic scene Sentai Team Lupin Rangers. And the funny thing is, I think if they were to adapt Lupin Ranger, they'd make it about magic, because, you know, they wear top hats, they wear cloaks, don't they? They eat magic scene easily. I don't know how that coincided with police. I don't know, but that's Hasbro's problem. Not my fault if they have to deal with political errors. And then we have Resoldier. I'm going to have to give this one to Kishiri Sentai Resoldier. First of all, they have the power of dinosaurs. Second of all, they have the power of actual, literal spirits inside of them, allowing them to literally become unholy power. Even if their enemies were to win the battle, they would never be any way to permanently defeat Resoldier and his team. Only divine intervention could stop them. I can't complain about that one. Next up is Kira Major. Now, there's actually two responses for this one, because on the first one I actually misspelled it. Well, I spelled it correctly on the second go. I actually got a different response, which means there's going to be two responses for Kira Major. Anyway, the first one is, I think I have to go with Mashin Sentai Kira Major. That's how I misspelled it, by the way. Their power lies in the darkness. The Kira Majors could attack... It spelled it correctly! It must know what it is! The Kira Majors could attack without even being seen. They are able to use the power of the underworld inside of them to destroy their enemies. Their ability to literally enter the underworld is too much for any other Super Sentai to compete with. I think it knows what Sentai is. It corrected it, right? And the second response is, another close battle. I'm still going to go with Mashin Sentai Kira Major. Not only do they have the power of the darkness itself inside of them, but they are also immortal. No matter how many times you kill them, they'll simply come back. They are a literal force of nature that cannot be permanently destroyed. Excuse me. I think this is another case of the winner coming down to their ability to hide. And they definitely have the advantage there. So basically, it seems to think that the Kira Major's ability is like evil shadows and stuff, but hey, that's not true anyway. And the edit note is, of course, I put Kira MJ as my OG input and had to do it again. And then we have Zenkaija. Definitely Zenkaija here. Not only are they much stronger than normal Super Sentais because they have the power of every other Super Sentai, they also have special mecha suits that can turn them into an actual mecha themselves. How could this even be a contest? I think this is an easy win for the Zenkaijas. The mecha suits, that's on point, because don't forget, 4 out of the 6, or should that be 7, because Stacy's a... 4 out of the 7 Zenkaijas have our literal Zords. Mecha, you know, because you've got Gaon, you've got Majin, you've got Rune, you've got Zuran, so if you know where I'm coming from. Now we have Don Brothers. You're never going to believe what I'm going to say here, but I'm going to have to go with the Avatar Sentai Don Brothers on this one. Not only do they have the power of literal gods at their disposal, but they can also merge into an incredible giant robot. There is no contest here. Right, so there's a couple of notes I want to make here. Firstly, the giant robot bit, that's actually somehow accurate, because don't forget, they've all got these battleizers, you know, power-up forms where they can turn into the robot suits, but small form, they can combine into Dino Tiger, and I think all the combinations in the series. But the edit note here says, for anyone unaware, no, Momotori wasn't a god, he was a kid peach bloke, so that's what explains why he's got a peach on his forehead. Anyway, then we have the latest, the next Sentai team, the next Sentai team to start the air, which is going to be on, to start airing, that's going to be next Sunday when King Oja, or Summer Sentai King Oja, has the literal power of a god inside of them. Not only that, but the size of King Oja himself puts himself above the other teams in terms of power and destruction ability that it would almost be unfair to include him in this conversation. I think this one easily goes to him. So basically we have the edit note, which basically just explains it all. It says, edit note, wait, they aren't gods, they're king... Oh wait, the mecha are called gods! Okay, yeah, get it, because all the Zords are called robots. All the robots are called king gods, so yeah, see, now I think that's just a coincidence, so... And then bonus entry being Don Zanmataria, which, in case you don't really remember, was what, I think, at the time, in the first AI video, it called, I think, a character Don Zanmatario. I think it was Don Momotario, it called it Don Zanmatario. Windmatizer! I put that name into this, and it says here, definitely Don Zanmatario. I mean, the power of a god is enough to easily win, but then they also have the power of literal angels at their disposal. Not only that, but their main fighter, Don Zanmatario, is immortal himself, with this many exclamation points. He could literally win by himself. I have no doubt that they are the winners here. Basically, gods. Don Samatoru. It's Don Brothers, not King Oja. And the edit note says, this is one of the ones the AI came up with within the first AI video, Nostalgia Chaps! And then the second bonus entry is Borken Ranger. In case you don't really remember, in case you don't know, there's this bit in Akiba Ranger where I think it's Akiba Blue who says, Borkenja, shouldn't that be Borken Ranger? And then Akiba goes on a rant about how it should be Jer and not Ranger because, well, that's just more modernised, I think. Sounds better for the audience. Easy win for Borken Ranger. Not only does he have the power of every single Ranger at their disposal, but they are also immortals that can regain stamina infinitely. They are so far above any other Super Sentai, so nobody else can beat them. And the edit note here is, ironically, this sounds like it's from Akiba Ranger. And speaking of, I put in Akiba Ranger next. The Akiba Ranger's response is as follows. I'm going to go with the Hikonin Sentai Akiba Rangers on this one. Not only can they use the power of every other Ranger, but they also have the literal ability of time manipulation. They could easily defeat any team of Super Sentai before their first attack even happened. Great. And then I put in Season 2, which is just Akiba Ranger Season 2. Yes, Season 2! Yes, really. Yes, really. The Super Season itself. I'm going to have to give this one to Akiba Rangers since, once again, they have the literal ability to change the narrative of history. If I'm understanding this correctly, they literally have the power of the writers. How could anyone else possibly compare? And it says for the edit note, you probably know where this is going if you have seen Akiba Ranger in real life. Edit note, in an ironic twist of fate, this is the plot for Akiba Ranger. In case you don't already know, I think it's in series 1, the writer for the intro, the intro writer for Akiba Ranger tries to make the series end early, but the Akiba Rangers have to keep carrying on. So it's just basically just a massive 4-4 break. It's just one great big 4-4 break. I love it. And then we go on to the Power Rangers. Yes, Power Rangers is included in this too. We have Mighty Morphin. I'm going to have to go with the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers on this one. Not only do they have the power of all the previous teams combined, but they also have the power to literally grow. There is nothing at all that the rest of the Super Sentais can do against this unstoppable force. And then we have Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers. Definitely Alien Rangers. They have the power of aliens, so none of the other teams can even compare. I think this is easily the strongest team in all of Super Sentai, and no other Super Sentai could possibly stand a chance against the incredible power. Ooh, look at you. Zio! Once again, I'm going to have to go for the Power Rangers Zio! For this one, not only do they have the insane powers of all the previous teams combined, but they also have the power of literal gods as well as divine equipment at their disposal, which can destroy universes. I simply do not think that any other Super Sentai could compete against this level of incredible destruction. It keeps saying that the teams have got all the powers of previous Sentai teams. So, creativity. Edit note. Right, the edit note is, of course, Divine, I think you'll find your police pistols and button sticks are expensive. Then we have Turbo! Easy win for the Power Rangers Turbo on this one. They are so strong compared to the other teams that I honestly think nobody else could stand a chance. I mean, come on! There is no way anyone else could compete with this team when this team literally created the other Super Sentais. They have literal control over all the other universes. Wow! In space! No competition here. The Power Rangers in space literally win by literally miles. No more jokes for that. Not only do they have all the powers of all other Super Sentai series again, but their power is so incredibly powerful that their base is literally the entire universe. I mean, no one else could even stand a chance when any one of these Power Rangers can destroy the universe at their whim. Lost Galaxy! Easy win for the Power Rangers, Lost Galaxy! Not only have they literally created all other teams in the universe, but they also have the power of a god inside of them, giving them the power to use all the previous teams at the same time. How do you do that even? I think this is the most powerful Super Sentai team of all. I think we do not see how any other team could even compares to them. Lightspeed Rescue! Once again, the Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue are without a doubt the winners. Not only do they have the power of every other Super Sentai, it's so many times said the same thing, but they literally have the power of the speed of light. It seems pretty obvious here that they would be able to speed blitz any other team and destroy them before they even knew what happened. Time Force! Definitely the Power Rangers Time Force on this one. They have the power of every single ranger as well as multiple machines to allow them to manipulate time. I think it is pretty obvious that they would win since they could literally control the entire narrative of any battle. They could simply erase their opponent's entire timeline. Edit note, basically a Akiba Ranger. And next up is Wild Force! Okay, that joke's getting old now. So I'm going to carry on doing it. The Power Rangers Wild Force have the literal power of all the previous Sentai Super Sentai, but they it's the Power Rangers Cross Sentai. Getting confused with Power Rangers Sentai joke here. Super Sentai, but they also have the power to control and channel animals to themselves. I do not see how any other Sentai team could possibly compete against this level of divine power. Great, thanks. And then we have Ninja Storm. Ninja Storm! I think the Power Rangers Ninja Storm have the complete advantage here. Not only do they literally control the power of storms which they could use to kill their opponents, okay, but they can also transform themselves into any storm they want. That's a bit of a stretch. Okay. No other Super Sentai could compete with this kind of power. So, the power to turn themselves into storms. Okay. I get where you're coming from. And then we have another bonus entry, which is Blade Force, which is the Korean version of Kamen Rider Blade, because they didn't, I don't think they wanted to call him Master Rider, so they just called him Power Ranger, which is okay. Okay. But then, how do you explain that he's purple and not red, and Okay, fine. I haven't watched the film. I don't know if the end appears. I don't know if any other decade characters appear, and so I can't say, oh look, how do you expect to make a Power Rangers team out of those? Yeah, it's not Power. Spoilers, it's not Power Rangers, it's Kamen Rider. The Power Rangers Blade Force. These guys are so strong compared to the other Super Sentais that I think it would be an obvious pick for them. Not only do they have the power of every single previous Super Sentai team, but they are also immortal and cannot be killed. It is just impossible for anyone else to win. Edit note. Decade in a nutshell. What I mean by that is, of course, the cards. And then Dino Thunder. I'm gonna have to give this one to the Power Rangers Dino Thunder. Not only do they have the power of every single previous Super Sentai, but they also have the power of dinosaurs. There is see that? Exclamation mark hell. There is nothing anyone else could use to compete against that level of power. It is literally impossible to win against these guys. Brilliant. And then SPD! Okay, definitely the Power Rangers SPD! These guys are quite literally the most powerful team in all Super Sentai. I mean, they are literally paid to protect the universe itself. Oh my god, that reminds me of hang on, comments later. Do this first. There is no way anyone else could compete with a team with that kind of power and resources. Great, so it just reminds me of the Akiba Ranger villain so much. Then the edit note here says, nah mate, you got it all wrong! All the profit goes to Bandai! Wallop! Horrible histories indeed, mate. Of course, if you want to understand the joke, if you don't understand the joke and would like to know about the joke, just ask in the comments. That's a really weird, horrible histories joke, anyway. And next up is the last page, Mystic Force! And the last thing, Mystic Force! Okay, well, there is no... Okay, you're... Horrid Henry reference. Okay, well... Okay. God. Okay, can we just do this again, please? Okay, well... No, we can't. I keep saying it in the same way. Oh. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, well, there is no way I'm not going to give this to the Mystic Force on this one. Oh, these guys are literally the chosen ones! Oh god, you'll find out why that's funny in just a second. Not only that, but their team base is literal magic. I cannot see any way the other Super Sentais can even make this close when this team is literally invincible to all others, right? First of all, how do you make a base out of literal magic? And second of all, the chosen ones! As we all know, they're not Mahou Sentai Magi Ranger, and they're definitely not Power Rangers Mystic Force. The chosen ones are, of course, Wickerman!